Hello, I am going to show you some ideas to help you get started with your Whistleless stories. Hopefully, you have watched the animation on YouTube, hopefully a couple of times so that you know the story really well. And at this point, it would be really helpful if you complete the story mountain activity and have that with you as you're watching this little guide, and then keep the story mountain with you when you start drafting and coming up with your own ideas for your own story. I've divided the story up, so I've divided my plan up into a series of plot points. So this is like my story mountain, if you like, and this is what I will use to help me with my story. So plot point one, the beginning of my story, I'm going to introduce the character and the setting. Then I'll go on to write about the build-up, where Whistleless meets his friends and tries to whistle. The problem in the story is that Whistleless can't whistle, and that makes him feel really unhappy and frustrated. The solution is Whistleless goes off and finds someone to help him. He learns how to whistle, and then the ending of the story is that Whistleless is delighted, he's proud of himself, and goes and shows off his skill to anybody who will listen. You can see here that I've simplified the story that is featured in the animation, because in the animation Whistleless goes off and meets lots and lots of different characters who all try and help him. If you wanted to include all of those features in your story, you're very welcome to. It just depends on how much writing you want to do. Okay, so I'm going to start off in this video just showing you a few tips and ideas to get going with your story, and then throughout this week I'll post some more videos along the way. So the start of the story, plot point one, we're going to introduce the character and the setting. The technique I'm going to show you is called sentence stacking. And what that means is I'm going to guide you through various different sentence types, and we're going to stack them one upon the other each day, so that by the end of the week we have a sequence of sentences that all develop into the story. Today I'm going to show you 3 different types of sentences, so if you're following this along and you're writing at the same time, by the end of this session, you would have written 3 sentences that will form the introduction of your story. The reason I'm doing it in this way is so that I can model really clearly for you what the different writing techniques will look like. We can practice them together, and then I can show you how to apply those techniques into your story. Sentence 1 is going to look at double adjectives, and we're going to be using these adjectives to describe the character of Whistleless and establish the setting. The first thing we need to do then is think about the different types of adjectives that we would use to describe Whistleless. I've got a picture of him here, and you can take some time now, maybe on a piece of scrap paper, to just come up with as many different adjectives as you can. If you want to pause the video guide at this point, do feel free. Otherwise, carry on watching, and you are very welcome to use some of the adjectives that I come up with. So having seen the animation, I would describe Whistleless as, I think he's a very brave character. I think he is quite a cheeky bird. I think he's friendly because he's not afraid to go and ask lots of different people for help. I think he's curious. I think he's resilient because he never gives up. Now these are words that very much describe Whistleless's personality, what I think his personality is like. But if we think about what he looks like, he's small, he's energetic. The way he moves, he's quite bouncy. And if I'm imagining now, if I'd actually seen Whistleless perhaps in real life, I was thinking, what would he look like if he flew into my garden? I would imagine him to be brightly coloured. Vivid. Separate out these words. He's small, he's energetic, he's bouncy, he's vivid. And I touch him. There we go. So that's Whistleless. Now I'm also going to be introducing the setting. So I do need to think about the place where the story is set. So I'm imagining that it's a sunny, picturesque, cheerful. I think it's quite a crowded town where he lives. And I think it's pretty. There we go. So I've got my words to describe Whistleless, and I've got some words down here to describe the setting. So our first sentence then is going to be using double adjectives within that sentence. So first of all, before we move on, I'm just going to demonstrate for you what double adjectives, what that actually means within a sentence. I'm just moving these words out of the way so I've got space all on one screen to show you some examples. I'm going to start off my story and I'm going to say one. Ordinarily, I'd start off by one day there was a bird called Whistle. Yes, full stop. There we go. One sentence. It's one idea. I've got a sentence starter followed by a comma, capital letter for Whistleless and a full stop at the end. But it's not very descriptive, is it? So I'm now going to insert in my sentence some double adjectives to make my sentence more interesting. Now, as we know, because we've done this in school, that when we're using double adjectives, we need to include a comma to separate them. There we go. Put that in red. Okay. So I'm going to insert some adjectives into this sentence, and I'm using double adjectives because that is my sentence form objective. So I'm going to say one bright, comma, sunny day. There we go. Put it in red so you can see how I've put them into the sentence. One bright sunny day, there was a something, comma, something bird called Whistleless. And here I'm going to pull out some of my examples. One bright, comma, sunny day, there was a brave, brightly coloured, let's see if I can drag that in. There we go. One bright, sunny day, comma, there was a brave, brightly coloured bird called Whistleless. And there we go. There is my first sentence, and I have included two examples of double adjectives.